Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Raza Mohyuddin, the member of the visiting faculty, Time Institute, Multan, and for MPH classes. And the first lecture is for, the topic is health promotion and education. And today we will discuss the basic concept of health promotion. So health promotion is a science, you say. It is a science aiming at reaching optimal or perfect health. And all activities aiming at increasing well-being, prevention of disease, and health hazard or control of diseases are including under health promotion. And so it is the highest aim of community medicine. Health promotion is to add life into the years and not just add years on to life. So now we see how we can define a health promotion. Health promotion is a process of activating communities, policymakers, professionals, and the public in favor of health, sportive policies, systems, and ways of living. So all this, the policymakers, professionals, public, for health, sportive policies, systems, and ways of living. So how we can carry out this health promotion? It will be carried out through acts of advocacy, empowerment of people, and building social support system that enable people to make healthy choices and live healthy lives. And now there are some basic principles for health promotion. And health is dependent on social justice and equity, sustainable resources, peace, shelter, education, food, income, and a stable ecosystem. So promotion of health requires a secure foundation in these basic prerequisites. So the factors which favor health can harm it. There are certain factors which can favor health and which can harm it. These are the political conditions, economic conditions, social conditions, cultural conditions, environment factors and conditions, behavioral factors or conditions, and biological factors or conditions. So when there won't be a peace or there will be a war condition, definitely the health will be disturbed. If there are, your environment is not clean, then you suffer from the diseases. And if there are biological viruses, like in vein of bacteria or in vein or the food or pure water problems, they lead to bad health. So the positiveness of these factors will lead to good health of the people, and these negative factors of these conditions will lead to worse health. Now we have to see what are the approaches for health promotion, how we can promote health, what activities are there which can promote health. So there are three main categories. First is the healthy population. We must have a healthy population infrastructure. Then the healthy lifestyles of the communities and the public, and of course is the healthy environment. Individual health, community health, and the environment. These are the approaches for health promotion. And how healthy populations? In this way, we target the life stages and groups. So this very needs of the health vary in the stage of their life cycle or their gender. In different lives, the requirement of health needs are different. The health needs are different in different gender groups. So the healthy population approach encourages initiatives that focus on the health needs and contributions of the people at every life stage. This is for the healthy how we achieve healthy populations. Then are the very, very important in the healthy lifestyles. Like I am wearing a mask, wearing gloves in these, COVID days, have the sanitizer in my room, and see the arrangements in the markets, in the mosque. These are all the what I have to eat, which air I have to breathe. These are all are exercise, the diet. These are all healthy lifestyles. This approach focuses more on the behavior of individuals and how their decisions and actions can lead to healthier outcomes. And this can be done through health education, social mobilization, and advocacy programs. So you tell the people, there are illiterate people as well who don't know the value of health issue. You just treat them that they should wash hands thoroughly with soap after coming out of the toilet, or before eating something they must wash their hands. So then there are washing and hands and all that, this is activity. Then you have to avoid certain things like smoking. Then you have to take better nutrition. We have to tell the people that what are the nutrients, which type of food they should take. And then are your work and exercise behavior. This will all lead to healthy lifestyle approaches. Then are the healthy settings, creating social, economic, and environmental conditions that are favorable to good health. If you have got factories in the city area, or you have tanneries, or other lack of lifting of the garbage, and there is stagnation of water inside the street, all these conditions, environmental conditions will lead to ill health. So we have to make our environmental clean, and these health conditions in developing countries must be viewed in wider socio-economic context, because millions of people are trapped in the vicious cycle of poverty, despair, disparity, illiteracy, and disease. These are all, the things which are, which are in the vicious cycle. Someone is poor, then someone is illiterate, and then someone is more unhealthy. Then there are other approaches to health promotion. These were all the environmental, the upper level, community level conditions, and then the healthy environment, the healthy lifestyle. Then there are the other approaches are prevention, like immunization, environmental health services. Then are the protections. There must be some law and policy, the regulations, and then like now there are regulations have been made for lockdowns and all that to avoid corona. This is all concerned with the health promotion. And then is the health education. In TV you see the ad, how to wash, wear glove, wear mask, do this, do's and don'ts. They are all the part of the health education. And there are something which are non-specific just for the general health, and then there can be for the certain, diseases are in epidemics, this advisory is used. And now, like, which is the providers of health, but there are certain elements which are health promoters. So who will promote the health? So there is an individual role, and then is the governmental role. Individual role is health consciousness, lifestyles, then there is genetic, and then there are beliefs, certain beliefs, like we are Muslims, we perform wudu and 5 times a day before prayers, or if you are more than that, you will like to recite Quran, you go for wudu. and that this is very healthy lifestyle. Wash your body, or or the process of ghusl, that all contributes towards these beliefs making good lifestyles. And then is a is occupation. There are certain departments which are involved in it. As a government level, there are legislations in rather environmental health. There is a legislation for factory work uses, and then for the cleaning, and these are all. Then the health services are there, and there are other ministries like livestock and all. They are, and that then is in the end is government role is they make a policy and provide budget for all that. So this, more than the individual and the government role, we have other agencies as well, like international organizations, WHO, UNICEF, and big organizations. They are involved in health promotion, health advisories, I already told you. Then all the health authorities, they are also involved in promoting this, the regional health authorities, local, provincial, federal. Then there are certain NGOs which are very active, and they aid the government and directly provide health promotive activities. Then primary healthcare team, as you know, the primary healthcare team, the member of your BHU, the LHV, and other vaccination staff, they provide. And the National Health Program, LHWs and LHSs, they provide the promote health as well. Then is the private physician. All the doctors which run the female doctors which run the private clinics, they also promote health, and with their prescription they give the piece of advice about health promotion. Then there are other health professionals like nurses, professional allied to medicine. They also, when you're treating the patient, before that you just tell them of washing hands and feeding baby and how to feed, the weaning. All these come under health promotion. And the religious organizations, you can't deny the role. They are also like polio campaigns, and now in a campaign against COVID-19, the active religious organizations can play their role. Now it is the community, health, economy, conventional, the health promotion activity. Then is what are the guiding principles of health promotion? How you can promote health, what can be it is empowering. You just empower the individual and communities for that. Then it is a participatory, you involve the community. This health promotion can only be done with the involvement of the people, the involvement of the different community groups. This is a participatory effect. Then is the holistic. You have to cover all the 4 dimensions. Now 5 dimensions has been said of health, like spiritual, this medical health, your physical health, your mental health, your social health. So all the dimensions should be covered by the health promotion team. Then it must be equitable and social justice. This health promotion must be for every sector of life and equal to everyone, and equitable to everyone. Then it must be, it's one of the guiding principles is it must be sustainable. It doesn't mean you start a thing in one government and then it's gone with the other. One day you do and the second day you forget. You have to maintain the changes. If it's not maintained, it's of no use. Then there must be, this principle is this, it must be multi-strategy. There must be variety of approaches that, certain people are like, there are some religious people, so a religious leader can just go for polio drops. So the people accept it. If sometimes the doctors say people don't. So you have to use multiple strategies. Sometimes a force has been, a legislation, a sphere like this. If someone is not wearing mask, one can be challaned, penalized for that, that the people will start doing this. There are certain people, we accept the advice voluntarily, and there are certain people which accept by force. Now, there are 23 of continuous development of health promotion. First was Ottawa, Canada. This was first international promotion conference. Then in Australia, 1988. Then is 1991 in Sweden. And then in Jakarta, Indonesia, 1997. Different issues were started. Mexico City, 2000. Bangkok, 2005. These are all the developments of this health promotion, and different issues were doing this. Then the Ottawa Charter, this put 5 action areas for promotion. This developed public health policy, healthy public health policy. The second was create supportive environment for health. Third was strengthen community action. Fourth was to develop personal skills like modifying their lifestyles. And the fifth one was to reorient the health services. So Ottawa Charter put 5 action areas for promotion. It's very important, this Ottawa Charter. And the Charter also showed how these healthy public policy can be done, or then it must be, this says that the health promotion must be in the policy agenda of all government sectors, and a commitment to healthy public policies means that governments must measure and report on their investments for health. For that, you have to invest the money for that health promotion on, suppose it's on the TV ads, or on the newspapers, or through on the speakers, or through megaphones. So one has to, the government has to invest, or other bodies have to invest. You see, for the, this is for, they have to invest time, personnel, and money for healthy public policy. And then how you will create a supportive environment, you have to preserve the natural environment. The trees, the mountains, they are all, part of this ecosystem, or the wildlife, or that must be protected. And in your workplace, you must have healthy working and living conditions, like the temperature control, the proper breathing place for the people, and for different all about the occupational health as well. And say for the doctors or nurses working in the ICUs, and for the corona patients or other infectious patients, the healthy supportive environment must be present. Then is the systematic assessment of health impact of any rapidly changing environment in workplace, energy reduction, etc. Then the government has to encourage this research studies for detection of any environmental hazards. Then is to strengthen community action. Health promotion depends on concrete and effective community action. So the community has to share in setting priorities, making decisions, planning strategies, and implementing these strategies. So, and how we can achieve it? To empowering the community, we have to create their ownership. We have to involve the community by giving ownership, and then their actions and efforts can be controlled, and there must be continuous access to the information, opportunities for health, and of course is the financing and funding support to the communities. And these must be, health promotion it must be directed toward individuals. So there must be individual awareness of the disease, changing lifestyle, encourage individuals to have checkups. We have to say that if you have got this, you must go to the hospital. If this, you do this. There must be do's and not to do's list. And then we must advise that if there is some problem, they should consult their doctor, or then they must comply with the direction or advisement of the physician are the medical staff. Then how we can reorient health services? This requires reorientation of health services in tertiary strategies and primary and secondary prevention models. Find it and fix it policy must be there, and we must encourage health services providers to build opportunities for health education settings in primary and secondary prevention of disease and disability when delivering